and welcome back to another Behind the Photo episode. Today it's a bit special because today we're not taking photos, we're actually talking about accessories which goes well with the camera when taking photos or video. You see, I've lined up 10 items where most of the items cost less than $25. There are a few that goes above, but it's not by a lot. I use all these items frequently actually, and I'm not sponsored by any of them, so this is all free will. Without further ado, let's start with the first item. It is this handle, and if you've been here for a very long time, you'll know that I once got this stabilizer. Works all right, but you can also disassemble it and use just the handle, which I've been using a lot to vlog with. A lot of the Christmas calendar vlogs I actually film with this in hand because you can adjust the top so that you can tilt it in multiple directions. And the price for this whole thing was about $15, and I'm sure you can get just the handle for maybe $5, maybe even less. The second item is also one I use every now and then. It is a monopod because it gives me a bit more dynamic range instead of a tripod. I'm not going to cover tripods and gorilla pods because we all know about those, but a monopod has so many nice functions. Also, it's very lightweight. This one extends maybe 1.60 meters. That's almost as tall as I am, as you see. That is a very nice thing for stabilization as well as reaching somewhere up far. I've also used it sometimes upside down when I've got to film something on the ground, like walking for instance. What I also like about it is that you can use it to hold a microphone as a boomstick, but we'll cover that a bit later. The price for this monopod was $19. Number 3 is one of the more pricey things on this list, especially if you combine the two like I have done. It is a rig for my camera as well as a handle on top. And I will say the handle has been a real lifesaver. It's just nice walking around with it, holding it like so. And it also has a hot shoe on top here, so I can mount one hot shoe here and one hot shoe here, which has been very nice if I, for instance, need a microphone and maybe an extra light or an external screen or whatever you can come up with. It also lets you mount a lot of different things on the side, for instance an extra handle if you want to hold it like so, but it also just makes your camera look a bit more expensive. And all you do is you just pop it in there and screw it down on the bottom just like you would do with a tripod or something similar, and it will look like this. Beautiful. Of course it does make the camera a bit more heavy, so you'll have to live with that, but the price for the rig was $28 and the handle was $15. Now the fourth item on this list is microphones. Now that is a more common item than all the other ones, and the one I'm using on the camera right now is the most expensive item on this list. It is the Rode Videomic Go, which does not have a battery, so it uses the camera's battery. And that's very smart because that way you know you're not going to run out of batteries unless it's also on the camera. I bought the Videomic Go used for $57. I also got the dead cat with it so that if it's very windy you can put that on. It also came with a cable adapter for the phone so that you can also use it on the phone, which is also very handy. But here are some alternatives which are a bit cheaper. There's the Takstar, a very famous one. This one cost me $25, and if you watch the reviews you'll know that everyone finds it quite great for the price that it is. It's not the cheapest plastic, so that's very nice. It has nice weight to it. As I said, I found that for $25. Then there's also the Boya Lavalier, which is one you clip on to yourself like this. It has been a very great microphone as well. I've used it, for instance, in episode 4 where we went on the street to shoot. It also comes with a small dead cat. It uses small batteries, but you can actually use it on the phone without a battery, and it still works just like the microphone that I have on right now works without a battery. The Boya was even cheaper. It was only $20 US. And the cable is very long, and you also get this handy little bag which I really love. And just to add to microphones, I also got myself an extension cable, which extends for quite a few meters, as you can see. And it's very cheap as well, somewhere like $2, $3, $4 for an extension cable, which comes in handy if you want to get sound far away on a microphone like the Takstar or the Rode Videomic Go. The fifth item some of you might also be familiar with if you've been here a while. It is ND filters. They're great for long exposure pictures if it's a bit brighter outside or if you want something very specific. Also for filming, they can be very nice. Again, if it's too bright outside, you just pop one of these on and you are ready to go. They are very cheap as well. I got this whole thing for $8. Item number 6 has been a real lifesaver for me very often, and it's actually this very small hot shoe here. You can mount 3 items on it, for instance microphones, lights and so on. You can also take the bottom off, which actually does the reverse. It lets you add, for instance, a camera to a hot shoe. And this little item cost me less than $4. Now just before we move on to number 7, I just want to show you that you can take a lot of these items that we've covered so far and actually put them together to create a boomstick. As you see, we have the Takstar microphone with the hot shoe and the monopod. Together with the extension cable, you can plug this directly into the camera and get sound very close. Also something I've been using every now and then when making film. Item number 7 is also a good friend that you may have seen a few times now. It is the little light. You see, this simple one cost me less than $9 and it has the ability to get stronger and a bit weaker. It's not the greatest lamp in the world, but it is one of the cheapest ones I could find when it came to filmmaking and photographing. Not only that, but it also has 3 hot shoes, so it gives you the ability to add a lot of different things, for instance microphones and more lights. And of course comes with a hot shoe in the bottom so that you can mount it on the camera. Again, that was $8.7. If you want to go more expensive, there's also the younger one which I've been using. That is maybe 6 times the price of that little light, but it does change color. And you get a remote to do it. Number 8 is also very important because you'll be using this a lot. Number 8 is camera bags. I was lucky with this one. I bought it used and it only cost me about $8.50, which is amazing. I've been using this one the most because there's enough room for my small camera and all the extra gear that I have. It has a lot of extra pockets. You see both inside and to outside. It also has a rain cover when it rains, which is also very nice. And the side pockets also come in very handy. For instance, the handle fits perfectly in here. But when I want to go smaller, I also have this camera bag, which is a small one, fits my camera and maybe an extra lens in there, and has also a few pockets for instance chargers and extra batteries. That is also very handy when you don't want to carry the big bag. Another cheap alternative, which I don't use very often, is this cheap backpack. Also very spacey, but very thin, very soft, not like the professional ones, you know, so I might be a bit afraid of putting my camera in here. But if it's a cheap camera and you have a lot of things, this might be quite great actually. Also around $8, $9, $10. The 9th item is also a very small one. It is this wallet. But it's not just a wallet, it's actually a wallet for SD cards. You see, it has around 21 SD card slots, so you can fit quite a few in there, and that's only if you put them in there. There's also a lot of space for much more, and that's just much greater than throwing them around everywhere until you cannot find them anymore. I always have this one with me in the camera bag, just in case. If you've seen the Christmas calendar, you're also very familiar with the next item. It is the reflector. This thing came in about $4.2, so it's quite cheap, and I've been quite happy about it because, as you see, I get this pouch. It doesn't take up a lot of space and it actually reflects the light quite well. So far I've been very satisfied with the $4.22 that I spent on it. You can also get different sizes, different colors, but if you are starting out with it, I would just prefer this one because it's very nice for learning. I don't remember the dimensions, but it's not the biggest, it's also not the smallest one. Again, very satisfied. Now that was actually the 10 items, but I do have a bonus item for you. Or actually a few bonus items, because I actually put them together and created this. Now this consists of a few items we have not covered yet. One of them being this matte box, the cheapest one I could find. It was $15. You can also get some that are as expensive as the camera, if not more. I did not need that. And the second item is the rail rod system, which it all stands on. It was $25. Also one of the cheapest I could find, but it also has a quick release, so that if I turn this, I can just quickly take out the camera while still having these things mounted on the tripod, for instance. And then as you can see, we have the rig system, so we have the camera in the rig as well as the handle up there. And what we also have is this phone holder. I've used this phone holder to mount it to my chest in episode 4, but this time I'm using it to mount it on the camera. If I want to have a bigger screen, I can connect it to the camera and actually see on the phone what's going on. You see, with this thing you can also mount microphones and lights. There are so many possibilities with a rig system like this, but I will say that I prefer to have it on a tripod because it is a bit heavy. It's meant to be on the tripod and it's not something I would walk around with like so, but it's also very nice for display, I'm not gonna lie. Now that's all I had for you today. Remember to come back again tomorrow to check out the next episode and see the previous episodes if you haven't seen them yet. I would highly appreciate that. Also tell me, which of these items do you like the most? What do you think of them? Are they nice accessories? Would you use any of these accessories? And are there any accessories which I did not list that you actually use? So, see you again tomorrow.